Welcome to Disney Urban Legends. There will be a variety, some happy, some sad, some weird, some cute, etc. I will be putting an indicator in which ones are true and which ones are not at the end of the urban legend. Not really, because it's in the middle. Anyway, some of them I won't be able to tell if it's true or not. Some of these urban legends I haven't heard about before. For each video, I will list which urban legends I didn't know until researching. Also, I will include bonus entries. Legend 1. The Story of Menstruation. Disney created an animated film in 1946 explaining the menstrual cycle to young girls. This one is actually true. I mean, you are watching part of it right now. As described by Dave Smith in his Disney Encyclopedia, The Story of Menstruation was an educational film made for international Caillou Cotton Co., delivered on October 18, 1946. Through animation diagrams, the film discusses the female reproductive organs and follows development from babyhood to motherhood, a popular Disney film for girls in school for several decades. Okay, so I will include links to a playlist with what I talk about, or in this case the short itself. So yeah. Legend 2. Walt Disney is Frozen, and they only made Frozen to cover up this from anyone searching it up. Both of these are false. Walt Disney was cremated. How can a cremated person be frozen? It's physically impossible, right? Legend 3. Disney can claim that no one has ever died at one of their theme parks because they always ensure that accident victims are removed from park property before being declared dead. This is also false. Excuse me. If you look back at my first amusement park accidents video, you will remember that I talked about Debbie Stone. This is evidence that people can in fact die at Disney. Legend 3. Disney can claim that no one has ever died at one of their theme parks because they always ensure that accident victims are removed from park property before being declared dead. This is also false. Excuse me. If you look back at my first amusement park accidents video, you will remember that I talked about Debbie Stone. This is evidence that people can in fact die at Disney. Legend 5. When Disney discovered that 3 Florida daycare centers have painted images of Disney characters on their walls without permission, the company demanded that the daycares remove Mickey and Friends from their walls or face legal action. This is true. Disney actually did threaten to sue a trio of daycares in Hallandale, Florida for copyright infringement back in 1989. The daycare centers were understandably reluctant to face the legal team of a media giant and painted over the Disney characters. As anyone but Disney's lawyers could have anticipated, the move was a PR debacle for the Mouse House, especially when theme park rival Universal allowed the centers to redecorate their walls using Hanna-Barbera characters. Though Disney remains diligent about enforcing its copyrights and is a major supporter of continued copyright extensions. Their lawyers have learned to tread a bit more cautiously in some cases. They also did the same to the parents who wanted Spider-Man on their son's tombstone. Legend 6. Disney used to have a policy stating that women could not be hired at the animation studio outside of the ink and paint department. This was true. In 1938, rejection letter received by animator Mary Ford reads, "Women do not do any of the creative work in connection with preparing the cartoons for the screen, as that work is performed entirely by young men." There were a few exceptions to the policy. Mary Blair was a conceptual artist at Disney whose bold graphic artwork was extremely influential on the Disney films and parks. Vita Scott created animation for a number of Disney films, including Bambi, where she drew not adorable baby bunnies, but the ferocious hunting dogs that torment Bambi and Pauline. The many women who worked at the ink and paint department over the years are among the unsung heroes of the Disney studio. None of the classic Disney films could have existed without them tracing and coloring every drawing of every character onto clear sheets to be filmed. Legend 7. Finland once banned Donald Duck because he doesn't wear pants. Again, just like with Andy's coming, this one is both true and false. What's false is that he wasn't banned for not wearing pants. No, instead in Helsinki, a local politician proposed that the cash-strapped city could save a little money if they stopped purchasing Donald Duck comics for youth centers. In Finland, he is known as Aku Ankka. I probably said that wrong, I don't know. Legend 8. Cinderella Castle is entirely collapsible in the event of a major tropical disaster. I don't know if this is true or not. Screen Rant says the decor and structure are indeed hurricane-proof, but it never needs to be collapsed and does not have some sort of advanced technological shield to protect it. But since I've never been to Disney, I don't know. Legend 9. The costumes are self-cooling. This is sadly false. They should consider it, though. Legend 10. People dump ashes in the parks. This is true. There's a special code and process for cleaning up the remains of unexpected guests who slip into the park. I think I read somewhere that says if you get caught dumping ashes, you can get banned. Legend 11. The thing in The Lion King spells out sex. This is false. It's actually SFX. You know, special effects. Legend 12. There is a picture of a topless woman in The Rescuers. This is true. Disney even had to recall copies in the 90s. Legend 13. Disney can control your mind with scents. This is false. While they do have different scents depending on where you are in the park, they can't control your mind. It's called the smellitizers. It can control your emotions. Here are some scents. During Halloween, you can smell candy corn. During Christmas, you can smell cookies and peppermints. Adventureland has scents like freshly cut tropical fruits, exotic spices, or even a hint of the ocean breeze to enhance the immersive experience. Main Street USA has scents like popcorn, candy, and baked goods. New Orleans Square has scenes like beignets, coffee, and other treats. Spaceship Earth has burning bone. Fill of Magic has champagne. Pirates of the Caribbean has damp ocean air, fresh rain, and salty sea breeze. Avatar Flight of Passage has apple, melon, bergamot, orange, lavender, forest rose, woody violet, and musk. Hell, even the resort lobbies have them. Polynesian Village Resort has citrus, hibiscus, teak wood, island fruit, and musk. Wilderness Lodge has sandalwood, amber, musk, and jasmine, lavender, and orange. Yacht and Beach Club has green clover, aloe, and waterfalls. Grand Floridian Resort and Spa has green clover, aloe, jasmine, lily, ylang, and cedar. Hell, even the snacks have them. Churros smell like cinnamon and glazed sugar. Magic Kingdom confectionery smell like cotton candy and raspberry. Popcorn smells like toasted corn and sweet butter. Mickey waffles smell like maple syrup, brown sugar, vanilla, and sweet butter. There's a lot more, but too many to list. Legend 14. Mickey Mouse is based on a real mouse. Screen Rant says about this. The story goes that Walt found a brown mouse in the bottom of his wastebasket, rescued him, and kept him as a pet on his desk before moving to California. It's kind of nice to know that the world's most famous mouse might have been inspired by a real-life rodent. Legend 15. They use real bones for Pirates of the Caribbean. This is true. It's because fake ones did not look authentic and real enough. The skull on the bed headboard is the only one left behind. Legend 16. George is the ghost of a former park employee who died on duty while installing Pirates of the Caribbean in the Magic Kingdom. Now his spirit haunts the ride. There's no evidence of his existence, but cast members are very superstitious when it comes to George. If they don't say hi to him in the morning and bye to him at night, he's been reported to cause malfunctions in the ride. Boy, this one's a long one, so buckle up. Legend 17. There is a lost Mickey Mouse cartoon from the 1930s. According to the story, film critic Leonard Maltin was going through some old Disney cartoons and came across a reel from the 1930s. The first few minutes have a dejected-looking Mickey walking down a city street while piano music plays. This goes on for a bit, and then things get weird. It goes to a blank screen with no visuals or audio for a bit. Then the video comes back with an unnerving cry. The cityscape melts and distorts. Mickey starts grinning in an evil fashion, and the disturbing shrieks get louder. The background distorts further, and colors that weren't possible with the technology at the time start bleeding in. The cries become screams, and Mickey's face gruesomely falls apart. Shortly before the end, the screaming and distortion suddenly stops, and the screen shows a normal Mickey Mouse face. A discordant tune like from a broken music box plays over this for about 30 seconds, and then there's something after that. Whatever happens in the final seconds of the video, some people say is enough to break a human brain. According to the legend, the employee who watched it came out of the room and said real suffering is not known 7 times before grabbing a security guard's pistol and shooting himself. There was also something in Russian that roughly translates to The Sights of Hell bring its viewers back in. Now, this one is confusing. I asked my grandma about a lost Mickey Mouse cartoon, and she said there is, but it's not Steamboat Willie. And I asked her if it's Suicide Mouse, and she said, I think. If it actually is Suicide Mouse, or Mickey Mouse in Hell, then I doubt that the colors, starting to bleed in, is false. Legend 18. Walt Disney is still at Disney even though he is dead. The light is kept on in Walt Disney's former apartment above the firehouse on Main Street for a reason. According to the legend, one night an employee came in to dust it and turned off the lights when she left. The light repeatedly turned on and off as she attempted to leave. Some versions of the story claim that she heard a voice say, "Don't forget, I am still here." Legend 19. Mr. Runway. There is said to be a ghost that sometimes sits next to riders on Space Mountain. The apparition is described as a large man with reddish hair. He's supposedly the ghost of a deceased guest who died on the ride back in the 70s. He politely disappears before the end of the ride. Legend 20. Disneyland ghost caught on camera. The video is a bit shaky, but a security camera apparently caught a ghost casually strolling through Disneyland. Many have dismissed it as monitor phone or a reflection, but many others believe it's a real ghost, possibly Javier Cruz. The cast member played Pluto and was killed in 2004 after falling in front of a parade float at Disneyland. Legend 21. Lady in White. A legend tells of a mysterious lady in white in turn-of-the-century clothing who perished in the early 1900s on the land where Disneyland stands today. She allegedly walks Main Street, appearing in and near stores. Legend 22. Dolly's Dip. Dolly Young was in a bobsled on the Matterhorn ride in 1984. Young is said to have unbuckled herself to assist a child on the ride. As she stood up, she hit the cross track overhead just before a dip and was thrown onto the tracks, where she was then run over by the next bobsled. Since her death, Disneyland employees have experienced a feeling of being watched around Dolly's Dip as they walk the track after the park closes. Legend 23. Debbie Stone. To recap, Debbie Stone worked as a hostess at the America Sings attraction in 1974. Unfortunately, the 18-year-old employee was killed when she became trapped between the attraction's rotating stages. Following her death, cast members have said they hear Stone reminding them to be careful. Legend 24. Ghost on the Monorail. A teenager attempted to sneak into Disneyland in 1966 by climbing a fence. As he crossed the monorail track, he was struck by the train, then dragged approximately 40 feet. Over the years, monorail riders and park workers have reportedly seen the ghost of the 19-year-old running alongside the train. Bonus. The lemmings in the White Wilderness film killed themselves. False. They were actually pushed to make it look like they jumped. Bonus 2. Good teenagers, take off your clothes. This is also false. Aladdin never says good teenagers, take off your clothes. He actually says, good kitty, take off and go. I didn't know the Mickey Mouse, Real Mouse Urban Legend, or Lady in White.